Hey guys, um, was sitting here listening to Prophet Kim Clement uh, when he was in Israel doing his concert. Put me in kind of a prophetic mood and had some things stirring in me. So I thought, well, I would start to do a video. And this is a quick story about something that happened to me, a prophetic encounter, if you will, um, and which kind of steers my life. Hopefully it steers yours as well. I was having an issue with my oldest daughter, and once again, a relationship that is oftentimes taxed. I guess I'll use that word. And there was things going on. I really did not. Well, once again, I thought she was being disrespectful, and um, so I needed a word. Needed a word, and went to church that evening. I think it was a Wednesday night, so usually the Wednesday night crowd is, sort of the crowd that flows a little bit deeper. And I knew there was prophetic people going to be there, and so I showed up really needing a word, if you know what I mean. There's times when we just, we really need a word. And I needed direction from the Lord, and I knew that I really felt in my spirit that by being there, I was going to get it. So, like usual, I sat in the back and I was watching and looking for the form of the Lord, looking for was this really going to happen? Who was it going to happen through? And what was going to happen? So as I'm listening to the meeting and being engaged, I'm also watching. And there was a certain woman, we will call her Lisa, because her name's Lisa. And she and I had actually had a conversation, and she felt she was a seer, and she was kind of inquiring some things to me, and about that gifting, and um, she was very curious, and so I took notice of her, and so she was I kept going back to her as a focus as I'm kind of watching everything, and so I'm going, okay, God, is that you? Are you? Um, because sometimes we have to ask ourselves, is it just us? Am I just thinking this? Am I sideways? Is this you stirring me for this? But I keep going back to her, which made sense because she and I had had that conversation. And so, but I'm looking for, because there's a lot of prophetic people in the room. And so when the service was over, as was usual, we began to pray for each other. I was in a group of men who were praying over each other and a few other people. And but I was looking over this way because Lisa was now over there. And the couple three guys that I was with began to pray over me because I think I asked them. And so and they were hitting around things and it was good. But my focus kept being over here with Lisa. And I really felt in my spirit that the word was going to come through her. Well, after a little bit, the head pastor had went over to the group of ladies, and he was now talking with them, and he was talking with Lisa. And I'm glancing over at them, and then back focused with the guys, but I keep every several seconds I'm kind of glancing over because I want to see. I'm really feeling drawn this direction, and all of a sudden they're looking my way. Well, at this point, I know she's coming. And I'm thinking, then they kind of took a few steps, and then they were talking, and I'm sitting there thinking, just get over here. And they kept doing that. They'd edge a little bit, and finally they came, because, we were engaged in prayer. Maybe that's what slowed them down. I don't know. But they finally came over, and Lisa spoke a word. She had a word for me. And so then, of course, I know whatever she's going to say is from the Lord. Well, she said, Jason, I looked over at you, and then the Lord showed me something. She said it was like I entered into the front of a house, and she said there were two pair of shoes. And she said they were facing each other. And she said one of them were yours, but it was like the Lord wanted you to try these shoes on and turn this way, put these shoes on, and see things from that perspective. Well, that was not the word that I wanted. The word that I wanted was to confirm that I was right. And the Lord was not saying, she's right and you're wrong. That's not what he was saying, because he wouldn't have said that, because that wasn't the case. But what he was saying was, try these shoes on, see this from her perspective, and it will give you a whole new perspective. And that was, it was so profound, because especially the way that it happened, walking in, getting an unction, waiting for it to unfold, then it unfolds, and it just has so much more power, doesn't it, when God does that. And that is a word, well, that's a word for all of us. Amen. You know, sometimes, and especially now, I really feel like the enemy's really busy trying to stir stuff up and stir up strife between people, and then it's easy to do this. And this is, you know, unless you're going to go cage fight, that ain't really a great place to be, right? And it's the responsibility of both parties. It's not the responsibility of one, really. And any situation that we get ourselves in, if we will, the Lord's not saying you're wrong. He's not saying the other person is totally wrong. He's just saying that if you will truly do that, it will you're looking at it from an entirely different perspective. And something just came to me. I've got a friend. He's a pretty smart fellow. And he told me he's kind of a scientist type of guy. And he told me, he said, Jay, when I look at something, what I do is I look at it, and then I turn it over and look at it, and then I kind of spin it around. He said, then I set it down, and I go back 10 feet, and I look at it. And then I go back a mile and look at it. He said, then I zoom inside, and I go inside, and I look out. Now that's a perspective there. And sometimes we get locked into our own perspective. And if we will, boy, it takes some maturity to do this. It really does. Especially if you're in a situation. But you can, I've actually been challenged this, the Lord was giving me this again, that to really kind of live that, you know, as hard as it is. Because I've got other situations that he was bringing to my mind, and then I had to ask myself, was I doing it in those situations? Was I at least trying them on? Right? You don't got to stay there. You don't got to kiss the person's butt. That's not what this is about. But it's just getting a different perspective, because even if they're still wrong as wrong can be, when you get done with this process, at least, well, they look a little more human, for one thing, and you can literally see things more clearly. Amen. So that is my prophetic event, one of many that the Lord has given me, but that's one of the most powerful. When we get born again, God gives us the keys to the kingdom. There are many keys. And truthfully, that is one of them, and that is a very powerful key, because it will unlock things. It will change circumstances. Um, and we can change the circumstance through prayer. Amen. Amen. I know that wasn't fun, but dang it, it was good. Love you.